I feel like I have like a different variation of an old woman come through me when I say that hello every week. But it's your girl Ari, aka Nage Sabe, aka Lil G, aka Princess of the Darkness, all of that shit. This is our second time around for the crew today. Doing this intro because we had some technical difficulties, but it's okay, it happens. We're using a receiver today, so that's why if you see that like headphone, that's what it is. And so maybe we put into the universe that something wrong was gonna happen, but it's okay, it happens. But we're back for another episode of Run It Back. Where we just talk about music industry news, the music industry general, and my personal 2 cents and bullshit regarding it. We also review music. We do have 2 songs to talk about today, so we're going to get straight into that because we do have just a lot of like info to get through. So let's keep it pushing. Before I do, I did like put on my favorite like lip combo, and I kind of want to tell you guys about it because I feel like if you're like me and you're kind of like olive toned and a little bit fair in the winter months, this is like the Makeup Revolution lip gloss, and then NYX lip liner in cocoa, and it has like a little bit of like a red undertone. Anyways, I think it looks really good, and I feel like if you like this lip color and you've been looking for like the right lip liner, this perfect. Okay, moving forward and talking about shit that we're actually here to talk about. The first song that we are going to review is called Solo Dolo by Bradley Bridges. He has been submitting stuff for a while. He makes really cool house and electronic music. And this song is no different in terms of like where he is going in terms of genre. This one, though, he does have a feature on, and there is some more like hip-hop influences. The best way for me to describe it and what came to my mind was Black Eyed Peas in the Fast and Furious movies. That was kind of just what it gave me. But overall, there was great melodies throughout this whole thing, not only from the production, but on the vocals. The songwriting was great, and the hook was extremely catchy. My only thing and my main thing, rather, that I would say about this song and the rollout aspect of it more rather than like the sonic quality of it is your guys' branding. The cover art specifically, I'm not sure what the vision was, what exactly the direction you guys were trying to go in, but I just think the quality could have been better and a little bit more cohesive. Moving forward, the next and last song that we're talking about today is called Holographic by Jordan Arena, and this is a music video that he sent in that is amazing, like phenomenal. Every single shot is like cinematic art, absolutely. And everything was so visually stimulating. The music itself is what I would describe as like grimy electronic stuff, very bassy. But it was short and sweet. Like this was maybe like 2 minutes, and in the last probably like 45 seconds of it, the beat changes to more of like an alternative sad boy kind of vibe, which went really well, meshed really well, and gave us, kept us on our toes. In such a short amount of time, there was so much going on. I just felt like it's one of those songs and videos that you have to watch over and over and over again so that you feel like it completely resonated with you and it's not moving so quickly. But with that being said, definitely go check it out. You can tell that a lot of time and resources were put into this video. And yeah, Jordan, good freaking work, bro. Both of these songs, because I like them so much and I feel like there was such great effort put into both of these, I'm going to be putting them on the Run It Back playlist as well as playing them on the radio tomorrow. So tune in to Dare to Defy Radio, powered by Magnifica. We go on every Monday at 7 p.m. Yee-hoo. Moving on, we're getting into the My Likes section. This is probably going to be the longest section of today because there's a lot of stuff that I just felt like I wanted to talk about. So we're going to get right into it, starting with this excerpt. So I'm going to read it and then we will talk about it. In recent years, rap music has been one of Egypt's most popular genres, with artists such as Wegs going viral on even the region's biggest, going to rival even the region's biggest. Oh my god. I'm sorry. That was a lot. I'm gonna restart. This is the issue with doing like lives, bro. Is like life. Okay. In recent years, rap music has been one of Egypt's most popular genres of music, with artists such as Wegs going on to rival even the region's biggest pop stars. Egypt's recent rap scene emerged from independent artists making tracks in their bedrooms and has evolved into a rapidly growing industry, garnering the attention of global record labels and advertisers, the music fans from all over the world, and music fans from all over the world. Since its reemergence, Egyptian rap has undergone multiple stylistic changes by adopting sonic aesthetics from various influences around the world, including old school hip hop to tra and shabi, mahargana, afrobeat, and of course drill. Drill has become the dominating musical style in the Egyptian rap landscape, with artists such as FLX, Hussein, and Wingy bringing the subgenre to the forefront of their impressive list of hits from 2022, such as Kamsa and Stop, in parentheses, Magnolia. The artists who are part of this local collective, Mahdi Town Mafia, have infused the genre with their signature flows and delivery styles that make use of the unique vocal affections, going on to influence many a rapper. I just thought that this was really interesting that Egypt is like banging drill. I love that, and I'm excited to like just go on a journey of like listening to a whole bunch of new Egyptian drill music, and I hope that you guys will too. Lord, speaking is clearly today not my. I always like have mess ups and I'm always like stumbling a little bit, but I feel like it's a lot today, man. I need the strength. I need calmness. But anyways, moving on. This is another pretty interesting story that I wanted to talk about. The Biden administration has negotiated with TikTok for 2 years to resolve the government's concerns that the popular Chinese-owned video app poses a national security risk. But as talks drag on, state and federal lawmakers have become impatient in taking matters into their own hands. It says check transmitter again. Ooh. Are we back, y'all? Okay. 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 But as talks drag on, state and federal lawmakers have become impatient in taking matters into their own hands. In the past several weeks, at least 14 states have banned TikTok on government-issued devices. In Congress, lawmakers are expected to vote this week on a sweeping spending bill that includes a ban of TikTok on all federal government devices. A separate bipartisan bill, which was introduced in Congress last week, would ban the app for everyone in the United States. In addition, Indiana's Attorney General has sued TikTok, accusing the company of being deceptive about the security and privacy risks the app poses. This is interesting. I don't know who has read through the TikTok terms and conditions. If you guys want to let me know so that we can dissect this further, absolutely do so. But I just think it's interesting to watch. I don't think that they're going to be able to put a national ban on it. I understand the ability to like take it off of government issued devices, especially when it comes to like public schools and things like that. But like I said, I doubt that they'll be able to push through having a national ban on TikTok. But we'll see. You never know in these trying, interesting American times. But moving forward, something to keep your eye on. Anyways, we're going to talk a little bit about perpetual record deals. And that is, basically the best way to put it is a record deal that never ends. The term is perpetual, in perpetuity across the universe, right? Just very... what is the word? Like all-encompassing, extreme, rather, okay? So I'm going to read this excerpt, and then we'll talk about it. A perpetuity record deal allows the record label to own the artist's records and the rights to that artist's music indefinitely. Each record is different, and the perpetuity clause can apply to different parts of the contract. However, a perpetuity record deal literally means that the record label owns the artist's music without an expiry date. While perpetuity records can be beneficial to an emerging artist, And in kickstarting their careers, they do have a lot of downsides. In many cases, artists lose control of their creative work and are unable to buy back the rights, even if decades have passed. In addition, artists may not have a say when it comes to reissues and may not receive as much of the profits as they would under a different type of contract. I think that last sentence is pretty self-explanatory, but if you haven't heard about like the specifications of different kinds of deals, like a 360 or a standard, and understanding these different like jargon terms about perpetuity, we've explained already what it is. The reasoning, once again, why it can be such a difficult thing to handle if you're on the artist side of this is, once again, because a lot of the times, thank you. But once again, a lot of the times musicians are put into holes and put into debt through lengthy advances and just difficult working conditions that they are not able to end up paying back what their advance was, or whatever the situation in the specific terms of the agreement were. But all in all, I would steer you clear in general of a deal that has to do with perpetuity. If you really are making a decision to like Frank Ocean some shit and have works ready that you are comfortable with throwing away for the purpose of gaining those resources, that knowledge, and just that status, then you can make that decision. But it has to be very calculated. And this is just further of a reason and an example of why it's super important to have people around you, specifically people who should be lawyers or have some type of experience in law around you to help you navigate these waters, because it can get very tricky very easily, very confusing very easily, and we always want to make sure that we are acting in ways to protect ourselves and keep ourselves sane, cool, straight, right? Cool. So next up, we're going to talk about the iHeart Radio Awards nominations. So we're going to get through all of this, how I feel about shit, before we announce the winners when they do officially have the event. So the way that we're going to do this, I'm not going to talk about every single nomination. I'm going to talk about the categories and who I either think should win or who I think is going to win. So either my wishes or my predictions. So let's get started. This is a time where I'm going to need ample preparation, because we're gonna talk a lot. First up, Song of the Year. I believe that it's going to be As It Was by Harry Styles. I think that's what it's going to be. I think it should, or I want it to be, Industry Baby from Lil Nas X or About That Time from Lizzo. Artist of the Year, I think that any of these people could win. There's only one person who I don't really want to win, which is, I think we all know the answer to this question, fucking Taylor Swift. But the other people who I think could win, and I would be cool with them winning, is Beyonce, Harry Styles, and Lizzo. The best duo/group of the year, the people that I think are going to win is either Silk Sonic or Blackpink, and I really think that Silk Sonic is going to win, and I think that they should win. Best collab, I think any of these have a good chance of winning, but I think it's going to be Wait For You from Future, Drake, and Thames. I would be cool with Lil Baby from Lil Nas X and Jack Harlow. I also think that Unholy from Sam Smith is a possibility, because it's a great song. First of all, I do think it's a good song. And it's been going crazy on TikTok. Industry Baby is a little bit older, but Wait For You, I feel like, has the United States and the world, matter of fact, in a grip. So I do think that song is going to win. Best new pop artist, I want Steve Lacy to win. I'm just going to leave it at that. The next are country categories, so I really can't talk about who I think, what I think, because I don't think. Country Song of the Year, Country Artist of the Year, Best New Country Artist are all categories that we can expect to see at the iHeartRadio Awards. Next is Hip Hop Song of the Year. I think it definitely could and really might be FNF from Glorilla. And I would love for it to be, FNF. I think it could also be Super Gremlin from Kodak Black. I wouldn't be mad about that either. For Hip Hop Artist of the Year, I think it's probably gonna be Kodak, Lil Baby, or Moneybagg Yo. I'd be cool with any of them. I'm a Florida baby. We're in Florida right now, so I'm gonna have to advocate for Kodak's win for sure. But like I said, I wouldn't be mad about anybody else. And then Best New Hip Hop Artist, I think is gonna go to Glorilla, and I think should go to Glorilla. R&B Song of the Year, Best New R&B, Alternative Song of the Year are all things that we can expect to see. Alternative Rock Artist of the Year, Best New Alt Rock Artist, Rock Song of the Year, Dance Song of the Year, Dance Artist of the Year, Latin Pop Reggaeton Song of the Year, Latin Pop Reggaeton Artist of the Year, and I think that we're going to see Bad Bunny sweep these categories. I think that is only what makes the most sense. And then Best New Latin Artist as well. The Best Lyrics, which we're moving into the socially voted category. So if any of these come out to be ridiculous, I'm blaming you guys. So we're going to talk about some of these a little bit more in depth because it is socially voted and it is like a collaborative effort for those of us who care. So Best Lyrics, I personally think should be N95 by Kendrick Lamar. Period. I'd also be okay with About Damn Time from Lizzo. That is another very well-written song. Best Music Video. This one actually really intrigued me because I sat and I watched all these videos while I was going through this, and y'all will be surprised. I have something nice to say about Taylor Swift in the Anti-Hero video that is nominated for this. It's actually pretty cool. I like the concepts in it. It's very simple. It's very basic. That is my only takeaway from it, but it is very conceptual. I liked what she did with it, with having herself in these different states, you could say, for the hey, it's me, I'm the problem, it's me, la da da da. Obviously that's been going crazy on TikTok, but I actually liked this video, and that really surprised me. So I'm happy, honestly, that Taylor Swift surprised me and made me enjoy something that she created, which sounds so fucked up, and it sounds like I hate her so much, and I think that I do, but not really, and maybe it's a jealousy thing, I don't know. Anyways, Harry Styles, as it was, the colors in this are so beautiful. It's very simple. It's just the very vibrant red and blues, but the way that it was just placed in every scene was just very pretty. Everything popped great, and I also really appreciated the choreography that went into specifically Harry and his lady, right? The next one is Rima and Selena Gomez with Calm Down. And I'm going to be real. It's very simple. It's cute. But something about Selena's body language and facial expressions were off-putting. And not in a bad, immediately off-putting or some type of way. But it was just a tinge of awkwardness or uncomfortability, just something that I can't really pinpoint. And I don't know, I mean, the video itself, all of these videos, of course, have extremely high budgets that go into them, a lot of time, amazing personnel, wardrobe, glam, editing, props, all of this to make these extremely high quality videos on these very high quality productions, right? But it's just those certain human things that go into art and go into when we're creating music videos and things that give us these interesting feelings. And like I said, overall it's a good video. It's visually pleasing, it's beautiful, but yeah, I don't know. Then we have Tiesto from Karol G. Tiesto and Karol G, sorry about that, with Don't Be Shy. And this video is inspired by Night in the Living Museum, which I just thought was really cool. The costumes were done really great. Karol G looked really great. I like the song. It's pretty cool. It's not something I would listen to every day, but it's a good quality song. It's put together well. And yeah, I just was excited to see Night in the Living Museum reference because I really like that movie. Black Eyed Peas, Don't You Worry is literally, that video is funny. Like, and I don't, like, it's just so outdated. It's very, like, sci-fi from, like, 2010. Like, what, it would have been really freaking cool. 2008, you saw 2008 is, she should have never said that line because it is coming to haunt them, bro. This video, this song, it's just so, I'm disappointed, honestly. Honestly, no, I'm not, because we haven't really seen them stray too far away from that era. And it's, you know, it's outdated, like I said, and it's very, like, almost like hyper commercial. Like, it can work in certain senses and for certain audiences, definitely like that family friendly kind of vibe, for sure. It works. Innovative, I don't think so. So yeah, that's my thought. Ooh, thank you, bro. This is so innovative. Okay, anyways. Next, we have Anita, bro. Anita is the baddest bitch out. I'm telling you, bro. She is amazing. But with her song Envolver, the rehearsal aspect is really interesting. I don't know exactly what the point of this video was. I kind of think it was just like her being hot and sexy and seductive and amazing. But the aspect of the rehearsal was making me feel, and maybe projecting, but making me feel like the meaning was to show the process, how she's put, it's all an act. It's all an act. It's all fake. It's all to get to a means to an end, whatever that may be. That could be a lot of different things, but her actions are calculated. She has rehearsed this. She is in control. That's what I got from the video. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if there's an interview out. If there is, let me know. But I like the video. I just also think that she's so hot, bro. Okay, anyways. Then we have Charlie Puth and Jungkook with Left and Right. I don't like this song. That's my personal opinion, as everything in this podcast for the most part is. But it's very polished. Once again, all of these videos are done and executed very well and have a lot of production value behind them, right? But it feels cold. Again, it's one of those like hyper commercial things that feels a little bit like devoid of like soul and heart and humanity. And I know that it sounds so harsh, and it is harsh, but I don't know, that's just how I feel. And take a look at the video after my commentary, and I feel like maybe you'll understand. Anyways, moving on, we have Blackpink with Venom. I love the fact that they have like these personalized sets and characters and moments for this video, and then everything comes together very cohesively when they do perform as a group. They're styled immaculately. All of the girls are very highly trained, which is like, we know because of K-pop and the way that these, because if you didn't know, K-pop and the way that it works is basically they're all just like Lou Pearlmans running the same kind of like scheme and camps that he did and that era of boy bands did. They're also doing the same kind of music, which is biting off of hip-hop and R&B and and that's a whole other conversation that we could talk about. But these girls are very good at what they do, okay? And it comes across in performances, in videos. This video is dope. Like, the song is dope as well. They touch a lot of different genres, and it's very cool. And I'm not even really, like, a K-pop fan. But overall, like I said, the cohesiveness is really cool. I really like that they all had their own moments. Those of them who had those lead vocals and were able to give off, you know, their own kind of like energy and look and all that cool stuff. I don't know who's gonna win this category because all these videos are pretty cool. Then we had Bad Bunny with Titi Mi Pregunto. I like this song. It's not my favorite song, but for some reason when I listened to the song while I was watching the video, I liked it so much more. And one thing about Bad Bunny, and it's honestly, I think one of the main reasons that he is literally the superstar of the world right now, is he knows exactly how to connect with his audience. This video is it takes from a lot of different inspirations that we've seen before, like, you know, the block party, the classic drill video with everybody around, everybody having a good time, turning up, the club scenes, all of this kind of stuff that are not, you know, the innovative, that are not new, right? But he has just such a way of making you feel like he's right there with him, and it is so personalized. Just seeing the way that he interacts with people on set, and also he carries this out across his brand, on his social media, in his shows, on stage. He knows how to connect with his audience, and this video is a very good explanation or example rather of that. Next and finally is BTS with Yet to Come. Once again, this is polished and visually pleasing, but it feels cold and hyper commercial, and it just, that's, if you know how I feel. Moving forward is the category for Best Fan Army. And once again, I don't know who's going to win the music video award, but I feel like either Blackpink, Karol G, Harry Styles, or Taylor Swift. I feel like those are the possible ones. I'd be surprised if what one wasn't one of those. Wow! Say that 5 times fast. Okay. Anyways, there's also a socially voted category for Best Fan Army. And I think this is between the Barbs, the Bayhive, the Blinks, BTS Army, and Swifties. I honestly think if Barbs don't win, or if BTS, oh, that's hard. Barbs, BTS Army, and Swifties are really the ones that I feel like have that kind of grip, that kind of cultness. And I think Beyonce still has that, but I think that Beyonce fans are also way more mature now and grown, because Beyonce is way more mature and grown, and they don't allow themselves to come out of character as often as maybe a BTS, a Barb, or a Swiftie may. Okay. The Social Star Award, another socially voted category, I think should go to Charli D'Amelio. She, you know, she's a social star, absolutely. Favorite tour photographer, this is another socially voted category. And low-key, I kind of want to show you guys a little bit of what these look like. Because it was really cool. And if you guys want to follow them on like Instagram or anything, you can do so. But, and if you guys want to check out anything regarding iHeartRadio and voting yourself for these socially voted categories, definitely take a look at the news link document that I put in the description or the comments of every video that breaks down all of the information that I talk to you guys about. So these are the beautiful tour photographers who you may know of, or maybe you've never seen before, who are side by side with some of the biggest pop stars in the world, some of your favorite musicians, capturing everything. All of them have different styles. Some of them like to play with silhouettes. Some of them are way more like stylistic and grungy. Some of them are super editorial. But if this is something that you're interested in, definitely go check this out. And if you like production and photography and you want to be in these spaces, follow these people on Instagram. Figure out who they are. Figure out who they're working with. See how you can slimy your way in, okay? Anyways, yeah, so I just wanted to recognize them, and I thought it was cool that they had this category, and they also have some other categories like best style and things like that, or rather like best stylist, rather, that I really like because they photographers and stylists specifically, and like makeup artists, are integral and so close-knit and have such close relationships and are so, once again, just integral and important to the machine of the industry. But moving on, we have the TikTok Bop of the Year. Ooh! There was a bunch of possible songs for this. I think it's going to be I think it should be Just Wanna Rock from Lil Uzi Vert. I think it encompasses where TikTok is at right now. Bad Habit could win, As It Was could win, Unholy could win. And then the World's Smartest Violin, that sound is actually a nominee for this and could win, and it's definitely been used definitely like billions of times. So very cool, very interesting. Then we have the favorite documentary category. Let me know if you're watching and you want me to break down all of these documentaries, because I love documentaries and talking about them and dissecting them, and I want to watch all of them. So if you'd be interested in watching me react to these or give my my comments, 2 cents, all that kind of stuff, let me know. But all of them, I'm going to go through a list of them. I don't know what's going to win, and I don't think I should speak on it because I haven't watched them. But we have Halftime from Jennifer Lopez, Life in Pink from Machine Gun Kelly. We have Love, Lizzo. We have Niall Horan's Homecoming, The Road to Moulignard with Louis Capaldi, and Niall Horan and Louis Capaldi. And then we have Selena Gomez, My Mind and Me, which I really want to watch. If you have an Apple TV account that you're not using or are not, don't mind me using, let me know. Then you have Shania Twain, Not Just a Girl, Cheryl, which is about Sheryl Crow, and Untrapped, The Story of Little Baby. If you want to watch any of these, once again, I have them not linked, but what provider you can watch them on in today's document. Then we have favorite tour style, which we talked about a little bit before. I personally think that it's probably going to be Bad Bunny, Harry Styles. It could be Olivia Rodrigo. It could be Rosalia. It could be Lil Nas. He has been pulling looks left and right, and it also could be Dua Lipa. There's a surprise that there's more nominees to this, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Favorite residency, I think, is going to be Silk Sonic. It could also be Usher, and I would not be mad if Usher got it as well, because he's been going viral with like the Pole Girls, who's been on his thing, and he's definitely putting on a Vegas show for sure. Like, it's definitely a Vegas residency through and through. And then not finally, actually. Yes, finally. Favorite use of a sample, which is the final category, which is again socially voted. We have Jack Harlow's First Class, which sampled Fergie's Glamorous, Beyonce's Summer Renaissance, which sampled Donna Summer's I Feel Love, Lotto's Big Energy, which sampled Mariah Carey's Fantasy. Those are the ones that I think could possibly win. Once again, there's a lot more nominees. Moving on. That was very long-winded, took a lot of time, but we are done. The Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum has unveiled its newest online exhibition, Night Train to Nashville, Music City Rhythm and Blues, which is going to encapsulate 1945 through 1970 and will be available to access for free on the museum's website. The multimedia exhibit explores the significant story of Nashville's vibrant, pioneering R&B scene and its important role in helping the city become a world-renowned music center. Damn Skippy, damn straight, damn right. I'm very glad that this is being put up, and when I go to Nashville this coming May, I'm definitely going to check it out if I can. Yeehaw. So next we're going to talk about some industry predictions for 2023, which I think is cool. My 2 cents, and I actually think that most of these are pretty accurate. And yeah, so look out for these predictions. We'll take a look at the end of the year and see if any of these are right, if any of these are wrong. We're going to dissect it. Cool. The first one, more artists will embrace a DIY spirit. I think this is really obvious, and I also think this is definitely already happening. And the biggest example is when signed artists go on TikTok and make the freaking, when my label wants me to make a TikTok, but you're like trying to appeal to that audience, try to appeal to that DIY thing. I don't think artists want. I think there's some artists that want to. I think a lot of artists want to have that air without being that person. And I think that most artists, especially who are not pop stars, superstars, that term that we use, have to be DIY. And that is, about expense. So there's a little excerpt that I took out from that, which I think encompasses it perfectly. Artists are starting to realize they're the prize. I think the music industry as a whole is starting to see that too, and are trying to kind of cut that off. But artists are starting to realize the labels aren't going to help me anyways, so let me do it myself. It might take longer, but at least it's mine. And that's, kind of what we really champion with Dare and Defy, and just through a lot of what I do and the people that I run with. But yeah, I think on the large volume scale of musicians, yes, absolutely DIY, people learning how to produce, people learning how to mix, people being Swiss Army knives, people, doing everything in-house and just being one-stop shops. We're already seeing it, especially a lot of the young people. That is the average musician on TikTok, is someone who does everything themselves and maybe has a couple people who help them here and there, especially more in the live scene. But yeah, I think we should continue going in that route. But instead of everyone being a Swiss Army knife and everyone being a one-stop shop and everyone doing everything like that, I think that we should have certain specifications and specializations, link up with people, and begin exchanging money in our communities instead of giving it away to other people. Okay, I hope y'all get the gist. Number 2 is that creatives creatives will crack the TikTok code. I don't know. I think that there's people who obviously already have. There's plenty of people who already have. But I don't think necessarily that it's going to be like everyone's just going to get how TikTok works magically. Or that everyone will, period. Because I just don't think that that's going to happen. Moving forward, Web3 will not be going away. That I think is really obvious. And if you happen to be in Orlando or anywhere in the world, because it's also going to be in the freaking metaverse, I'm going to be hosting a metaverse mixer coming up soon. I will talk more about dates and stuff at the end. But yeah, Web3 isn't going away. NFTs, metaverse, virtual reality, it's all just going to continue evolving, right? Okay. The next one is about touring, and is essentially saying that it's not going to get better, and the primary reason for that, is cost, and the fact that a lot of people just cannot take the expense of travel, of energy, of personnel, of equipment. Everything is just being price gouged right now, and they're not letting up. Venues aren't letting up, manufacturers aren't letting up, and it's not working for some people. There's large names with large followings who have canceled due to these kind of just economic issues, right? Next is Ticketmaster's antitrust case will shape the future of live music. And I think this is definitely really true. Live Nation owns Ticketmaster, which a lot of people see as a conflict of interest and a monopolization on the live sector. And I agree personally, and I think that the things that are established in terms of case law with this are definitely going to just establish new ideas and new rules and stipulations and things along those lines for this space, specifically being live and ticket reselling and ticket selling in the first place. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with it. It's been in the works for a very long time, and we're going to continue for it to be a lengthy process, because that's how it is. But when we do see the final result, we will be able to, understand what's going on and adapt, right? Next is that musical artists will organize for better working positions. When the article that I'm pulling from kind of delves further into this, it talks a lot about just the pandemic and the value of labor, honestly, which is something that I find very important. So if you want to read more about that, go ahead and do so. I'm not going to get into it right now. And then the last thing is that the publishing rights buying streak will continue. And a tidbit of information that I thought was interesting just to put in here is that the reason why we are seeing this kind of like skyrocket or just more visibility to these deals and seeing them happen more often, is because in 2005 there was an amendment to copyright law that allows copyrights and musical assets to be treated as capital assets rather than goods and inventory. And what this does is that when you buy or sell publishing rights, you're only taxed at a 15 to 20% capital gains tax rather than a much higher ordinary income tax rate. And that's what's really encouraging to a lot of artists to sell. And I think that this is so interesting. And I think one of the biggest insights to why we're seeing so many people sell their music is because they're probably actually making a lot more tax-free income from selling the rights than they would if they were to just continue to collect royalties. And of course, it's not completely tax-free. It's just they may end up with more money on the other side, whatever the situation is. But I just thought that was really interesting and also something to think about, right? So yeah, moving forward, the last story for the My Like section. Bun B has credited Jay-Z with having the first rap music video to officially be given a budget of $1 million. During an appearance on the Residency podcast, the UGK rapper said that Big Pimpin' was the first to achieve that feat and clarified that rap music videos had gone over 1 million prior to the release of Hove's 1999 hit single, and that the late Pimp C appeared on, but that Volume 3 cut was the first song to ever be handed $1 million budget to start with. And I thought that was just a really cool, interesting piece of history to talk about. Some industry updates. Y'all, we are not even close to done. It's gonna be a minute today. Our first story in the industry updates section, longtime Universal Music Group Nashville head Mike Dungan announced his impending retirement in a memo to staff Monday afternoon, saying he'll be stepping down after holding the title of chairman and CEO at Nashville's top label group since 2012. Although the memo did not go into a line of succession or timeline, the UMG Nashville president Cindy Maybe is kind of seen as second in command and will soon be probably announced, and that was officially announced on January 10th. She has once again officially been appointed to chair and CEO of Universal Music Group Nashville, effective April 1st, 2023. In 2014, she became Nashville's highest-ranking woman label executive. When she was appointed as UMGN president, she now becomes the first woman to serve as chair and CEO of a Nashville-based major label group. And that is one hell of a feat, and I'm super excited for her. And all of the bad bitches in music are celebrating for her right now because that, once again, is a huge feat. Nashville is a powerhouse, UMG is a powerhouse, and she at the top of it now. The first one to be at the top of it too, so that's super cool. Next, we have Jane Hamblin has joined Creative Nation as management and records. In her new position, she will oversee the day-to-day responsibilities for Creative Nation artists, clients, and serve as a liaison between them and all outside partners. Starting next month, music rights holders and creators will be able to receive a revenue share from advertisements on YouTube Shorts. The change, which takes effect on February 1st, comes nearly 3 months after Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai hinted during an earnings call that the company is continuing to build out monetization on YouTube Shorts and attract more creators. To do this, they launched a $100 million fund in May of 2021, just 2 months after the Shorts US launch. The Shorts fund paid out content creators over the course of 2021 and 2022. The creators who received the most engagement and views on Shorts were rewarded from the fund. Shorts revenue sharing model replaces the YouTube Shorts fund, the platform says, and creators will no longer earn money with the Shorts fund, as YouTube says the new model will allow recipients to earn more. Alphabet's move follows that of Meta, which announced about half a year ago that it will start paying artists and music rights holds from the revenue of their songs and user-generated content on Facebook. Under Meta's model, video creators who choose to license music in videos over 60 seconds long on Facebook will receive a 20% share of any ad revenue generated from their creation. Facebook will split the other 80% that the revenue between music rights holders and Meta. Instead of a revenue share model, TikTok employs a buyout model with rights holders where the platform owned by China's ByteDance pays a lump sum to license music for a set period instead of sharing the ad revenue generated from the use of the artist or label's copyrighted music. Under the new model, YouTube will split the revenue from views on YouTube Shorts between the creator pool and the music partners based on the number of tracks used. The music eligible for a review share includes actual music audio or tracks, music videos, or other music content such as artist interviews. If a creator uploads a short with one track, half of the revenue from the views will be allocated to the creator pool, while the other half of the cost will cover the cost of music licensing. YouTube explains. For shorts featuring 2 songs, 1/3 of the revenue will go to the pool. The other 2/3 will be used for covering licensing costs. In explaining why shorts ad revenue is being pooled, YouTube says, by pooling revenue and then distributing it based on the share of views, we aim to reward all monetizing creators who make up the shorts experience, not just those who have an ad next to their video. I thought that this was really cool, and obviously it's, important when you are going into that content ID and monetization aspect of things, specifically on YouTube. So definitely tap in with it. YouTube Shorts is pretty cool. I use YouTube Shorts, and maybe you came to this podcast from a YouTube short. But the buyout, the payout method is really interesting, and I think it's really cool, especially that concept of, they want everyone to eat from it. The question is, what is the barrier of entry, right? I assume that it is the same barrier of entry that is monetizing your actual YouTube videos, but I don't know. We shall see. I feel like that's the main thing. If you're already monetizing your content on YouTube, this is just going to be another stream for you. It may already have been. It may increase. It may decrease because of this pool thing, but, you'll be able to find that out. We are disconnected and now have some Looney Tunes playing in the back. One moment, y'all. I have no idea how that happened. Today is just... Y'all hear that? What is going on? What a day. Ooh, I think we're back in business, yeah. Hope y'all like Looney Tunes. But yeah, so like I said, it's just interesting and definitely important if you're already monetizing or have that goal of monetizing your content on YouTube. Next, Brian Nolan has joined Artist Partner Group as President of Global Marketing and Synchronization. The former Motown Executive VP will oversee all label marketing, including international marketing, sales, and streaming, artist development, and synchronization. So damn near everything. When you factor in inflation, we're talking about money now, the value of annual UK music subscription streaming marketing actually shrunk in 2022. Ting Ingham thinks the answer is raising consumers' streaming prices. Okay, he thinks that's the answer to that problem. According to figures revealed in Luminate's end-of-year report, the volume of streams also saw a year-on-year acceleration in growth from 2021, meaning that total streams were up by 121.8 billion year on year in 2022, bigger than the 111 billion rise we saw in 2021. Digging further into Luminate's numbers, though, confirms that a long-running trend in the modern music business became even more pronounced in 2022. The top 10 biggest hits in the US each year are becoming less and less popular. MBW, or Music Business Worldwide's analysis of Luminate's latest figures, reveals that the top 10 audio streaming hits in the US in 2022 cumulatively racked up 4.723 billion plays on demand services like Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music, and Amazon Music in 2022, and that was down on the 5.27 billion streams, the equivalent top 10 shared in 2021. The $5.967 billion or $67 billion equivalent to the top 10 shared in 2020. The $6.21 billion equivalent top 10 shared in 2019, and even the 4.91 billion top 10 shared 5 years prior in 2017. So what we're talking about with this specifically is that, once again, the top 10 biggest hits in the US each year are becoming less popular. I think it was something like less than 1 in every 200 streams from something like 1 in every 100 streams, which is crazy, and I think is a testament to the saturation of music, how much more music people are listening to now, and how we as people are changing when it comes to the formation of our personalized catalogs. It was something like we, on average, solidify our catalog at like 23 years old or something like that. And the music that we listen to from 23, like up till 23, is what we listen to for the rest of our lives. Then there's not a lot of new discovery. All of our discovery is in those years 1 till 23. But I think that is changing. I think that we are going into a realm where discovery is an expansive thing, that doesn't end for people because of the availability of music and the bombarding that we get because of the oversaturation from independent artists, from local artists, from majors as well. So yeah, I think that my little prediction for 2023 is that we're going to have some new information and studies about the discovery process for consumers, because it's changing. It's a changing. Specifically when it comes to the length, once again, of the solidification of our personalized catalogs. Not me using these big fucking words and phrases. Okay. The next section, because we're moving forward, only has two stories, which I'm blessed for. So let's get into it. We're talking about deals, acquisitions, and partnerships. Dr. Dre is selling several of his music assets and income streams in deals with both Universal Music Group and Shamrock Capital, Billboard, and Variety report. The combined sales price is said to exceed $200 million. Assets acquired by Shamrock Capital reportedly include Dre's artist royalties from 2 of his solo albums, his share of NWA artist royalties, his producer royalties, and the writer's share of his song catalog where he doesn't own publishing, which potentially includes his writer's share of The Chronic, which is published by Sony Music Publishing. UMG has reportedly acquired the master recordings of Dre's 1992 debut LP, The Chronic, which is set to revert to Dre from the Death Row Entertainment August of 2023. And his share of Kendrick Lamar's releases through the Top Dog Entertainment deal with Interscope, a UMG subsidiary, and Dre's Aftermath imprint. Dre is said to retain his stake in Aftermath, which he co-owns with Interscope. Wow. That's funny. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. We just talked about, why folks may opt for selling their catalogs. And I think that definitely is going to have a play for Dr. Dre. And yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it's cool. But he ain't going to own any of his shit no more. And then finally, Warner Bros. Discovery is exploring a sale of its music assets that could be worth upwards of $1 billion. According to a source familiar with the matter, the catalog is being shopped by famed entertainment attorney Alan Grubman. While the potential sale, which was first reported by the Financial Times, is still in its very early stages, some of Warner Bros. Discovery current music partners could be potential buyers. Very cool, very interesting. Artist accomplishments, we've only got one. We've been talking about SZA and SOS for that same fact for a minute. It makes it to a month at the number 1 Billboard Top 200 charts. This album spends a 4th straight and total week atop the list. And it has earned 125,000 equivalent album units in the US in the week ending January 5th, which is down 2% according to Luminate. Yeah, I'm just super happy for SZA. This album is great, and I'm excited to continue seeing her thrive. We're coming to the close, y'all. We have 2 more sections, starting out with legal news. We have a couple larger stories, but we're going to move through it. First up is Triller. We've been talking about Triller for a minute, and my prediction for Triller for 2023 is that they're going to be bankrupt and likely not around anymore. But they have started the new year with another music industry lawsuit to contend with, this time from Universal. The major group claims that the video sharing app has failed to make payments due under its licensing deal with the major for 9 months now. If that sounds familiar, it's because Sony Music similarly accused Triller of failing to make payments in the lawsuit back in August of last year. So yeah, and everything that I've said about Triller already, I could reiterate, but I'm not going to, so we'll keep up on it and see the final result. Next, and this is another thing that I want to see if you guys want me to talk further about and have like a whole episode or a whole other kind of like video made about this, the Young Thug YSL RICO case. So Young Thug was among 28 individuals named in the indictment who are allegedly associated with the Atlanta-based Young Slime Life or YSL gang that prosecutors allege Young Thug co-founded along with 2 other co-defendants in 2012. But YSL, which is also the acronym for Young Stoner Life, is also the name of the rapper's brand and music label, an imprint of 300 Entertainment. The music label is not named in the indictment. Prosecutors allege that YSL is a criminal street gang and claims affiliation with the National Bloods gang and predominantly operates in southeast Atlanta, but has expanded activities to surrounding areas. According to the charging documents obtained by ABC News, the trial of Young Thug is set to begin in Atlanta on the courtroom Monday of January 9th, which, as we know, has already passed and we've been seeing shit. As the rapper faces gang-related charges along with 13 other defendants in a sweeping grand jury RICO indictment in Fulton County, Young Thug, a Grammy-winning rapper whose legal name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, was arrested on May 9th of 2022 and was charged with 1 count of conspiring to validate the state's Racketeer Influence and Corruption Organizations RICO Act, and participating in criminal street gang activity. He pled not guilty to all 8 counts. Prosecutors argue in the indictment that social media postings, images, and various song lyrics released by several defendants, including Young Thug, are overt acts in furtherance of the conspiracy to violate the RICO Act. The lyrics listed on the YSL indictment are from songs in the same time frame, including Young Thug's hit Anybody, and several numbers from YSL's 2020 compilation album Slime Language 2, including Take It to the Trial, Ski, and Slatty. The main thing that I want to point out is that so far, what we're currently, it's the 15th, there are 8 plea deals out of those 13 defendants so far. So that's, been like the main topic of conversation is these plea deals, these rats, these snitches, and how YSL has, YSL hasn't really been holding it down, but Young Thug definitely has, from what we know. I can't say too much about it. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what the truth is. But most of us, and I think that the consensus is that Young Thug is going to jail. And I don't want Young Thug to go to jail. I don't want anyone to go to jail, really. But we'll see the end, and we'll see if there's any like new information that comes out, if more people take plea deals, or if Young Thug himself takes a plea deal. I don't know if it's too late for that. I think it is because he already pled not guilty. But, we'll see. We shall see. Moving forward, Universal Music Group is being sued by hip-hop duo Black Sheep over its ownership of Spotify equity. Filing a class action lawsuit in New York last week, specifically on January 4th, the 2 members of Black Sheep, Andreas Titus and William McLean, aka Dress and Mista Lounge, allege that UMG agreed to lower royalty rates in 2008 from Spotify exchange for shares. Interesting. Music Business Worldwide reports that they argue that due to a clause in their contracts with Universal pertaining to net receipts, they and other artists have been underpaid by around $750 million or 630 million euros, and that they should have received half of UMG's shares in Spotify or half the value of it. This is interesting, and another thing that we got to keep up on, because $750 million is a lot of money to be like lost, laundered, embezzled, whatever the situation is. So we'll see the end of it, and if it does actually go anywhere. UMG is a big institution with a lot of power and resources. So we'll see if this goes anywhere. I'm not necessarily hopeful. I am optimistic. Or no, I'm hopeful, but I'm not necessarily optimistic. And then finally in this section, Cole and Van Note, a leading consumer rights law firm, announces today its investigation of Universal Music Group on behalf of its consumers' clients arising in the company's recent data breach. According to the company, private information of massive number of people who may have been stolen in the hacking of its information network. It is currently unknown how many people have had their information used for criminal purposes. So if you have any affiliation with UMG and don't know about this, I would definitely check in with some people and figure out if you need to be either compensated or protect yourself in any kind of way, because these kind of like data breaches, leaks and hacking and stuff like that, I don't know exactly who did it, what the specific situation is, but they're never fun. They're very dangerous and like personally detrimental to a lot of people. So once again, if you are involved or had any communication with UMG around the time of when this, transpired, I would definitely check it out and just, once again, protect yourself, see if you need to. Finally, we have one death this week to talk about, and that is Gordy Harmon, one of the founding members of the jazz and soul band The Whispers. He passed away at the age of 79 on January 6th. He, as we know, passed peacefully in his sleep, actually on December 5th, and it was announced on January 6th in his Los Angeles home. And very sad. Definitely go check out The Whispers and check out his work and pay some respect. As per usual, I offer my condolences to the listeners, the fans, the family, the friends who have been in mourning and are continuing to mourn. So once again, go check them out, pay your respects. And I say this every time, but when I do see it, especially someone who, has historical significance has passed away, I do like to talk about it and pay my respects in the way that I know how to. On that note, once again, that's the end of today. This was long-winded. I'm kind of scared to see how long we actually went on for today. But that is episode 37 of Run It Back. If you would like to submit music for this podcast for free, you absolutely can do so by either sending me a DM on Instagram, which is like going along that little banner down there, or you can send me an email at ari@darendefy.net with a Spotify or YouTube link, and I will get to you in one episode. I pinky promise. And if I really like the song, I will playlist it and I will play it on the radio the following day, because I do have a radio show that I do every Monday at 7 p.m. This Friday is the very last Dare and Defy workshop ever, basically. It's going to be all about visual creation, riders, specifically live events, planning, and things along those lines. So if you're interested, especially in live events and riders and touring and things like that, you should pull up. It's going to be both in person and virtual. So head to the link in my bio on Instagram where you can find both access tickets. Coming up, we also, oh my God, I gotta open my calendar because so much new stuff is happening too. But we do have, Spotlight Orlando is going to be happening next Sunday, so we'll definitely talk about it next week before we get off air. But that is going to be at Nightshade Lounge in Orlando. And then, what do we got? This week, Phenomenal Friday is happening the 20th over with TMC at their headquarters. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then once again, we have next Sunday Spotlight. We've also got an event at Inner Space on the 28th, which we talked about, that intergalactic metaverse mixer. We're going to be reviewing music. We're going to be just having a good time and, creating community amongst some people who enjoy Web3 and music, and seeing how we can collaborate, what we can do. That is going to be in the metaverse as well as in person. So I think that that's super cool. Anyone from around the world can join us. So, I'm going to have details out about that coming up soon. Very excited. And then on the 4th of February, moving kind of further into the first quarter, I am going to be at Plush hosting a show with them. I'm also going to be performing on the 5th, which is another Sunday, so we'll definitely give you an update on that Sunday. And that is going to be, I believe, at Dreams Lounge. That's going to be a bunch of fun. What else do we have coming up? Oh, how could I forget? On the 15th, I am going to be hosting another women's wind down event with TMC, which is an all women, men excluded networking event for industry professionals, creatives, really just bad bitches of any gender and identity who want to come together and network, talk about what we have going on, support each other, and just kind of be away from all of the men in our industry. And we're gonna have some amazing speakers coming through. We have 2 engineers. We have a good friend of mine, Abby, who is the owner of Content Creators, which is a independent musician community and app. And then one of my old professors who I love so much, her name is Chantel. She has been working in the industry forever. She is like a assistant teacher or an on-call teacher at Berkeley now, and does a bunch of stuff that, like, she's all over the place, but works on her team, does a lot of artist development, does a lot of oversight, and is just like super freaking cool. So if you are a chick and you want to meet them and you happen to be in Florida, we're gonna have free food, free drinks. It's just gonna be a good time, so pull up. Come on, like, everything I just described was amazing. Come on. Anyways, that's the end of today, y'all. I'm done. If you need anything from me, if you want to submit, if you have a question, if you want to talk to me about having one of your products or a QR code or something placed on the table, if you want to sponsor, if you want a commercial on the radio, whatever you want to do, just don't hesitate to reach out. And I think that's it, y'all. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Everything just fades away. Put you up, fade away. Everything just fades away. Put you up, fade away. And everything falls into place. When it's all up in the air and innocent, touching on my leg, you ain't indifferent. What we doing here ain't nobody's business. It's all sweet, but it tastes like cinnamon, but you won't say what's on your mind. Don't gotta say what you think I like, 'cause you're what I like. Yeah, I could be wasting a day with you and it's fine with me. The whole world could be fucked outside, but when we in this shit,